Donna writes, thank you, Pastor Chuck, for posting your thoughts. I hardly ever turn to so-called Christian radio in my Jeep, but thought maybe I'd hear something uplifting, so I turned the radio and heard, and she tells me his name and his radio program. I was astonished. This radio preacher was saying John the Baptist should have stuck to preparing the way of the Lord, and that he drifted from God's call on his life when he rebuked Herod for having his brother's wife. That's why John was beheaded, the preacher said, because he left off preaching in the desert to rebuke the king. Herod was right to cut his head off because he had stopped doing what God had called him to do, preaching in the desert, and he was meddling in politics and told Herod it was a sin for him to have his brother's wife, and he duly lost his life because he got out of God's will. This is the kind of preaching that's going on all over America. These are the kind of pastors that are in the pulpits of the churches all over America. This is what people are getting in the churches, on radio and television. This is what they're hearing from pastors. There's not a problem in this country that could not be solved if the pastors of America would start preaching the Bible to their congregations. What did Jesus say about John the Baptist? Of men born of women, none greater than John. That was after he rebuked Herod. That was after he was executed. Jesus put his approbation on John's life and John's message. How dare this preacher contradict Jesus and condemn the man of God for preaching what was right to preach?